I received several questions on my YouTube channel recently about glasses and goggles fogging. I received one special comment from Bushcraft Basics. Thank you very much for your dedicated subscription and great questions. How do you keep your glasses and your goggles from fogging when you're out in the outdoors? Okay, the TLDR, or the super quick answer, is stay cold. What does that mean, stay cold? All right. The reason, well, there's two reasons, really. The primary reason why your glasses or goggles are fogging is because when you're going along and you're huffing and puffing, your breathing is being pushed up by your mouth, and that fog envelops in this area. And even if you have these fancy vents on your Smith IOs or whatever you have, even though the steam is not supposed to build up in there, the fog actually comes from your mouth. So as you're breathing, especially with glasses, as you're walking along and you're breathing, that fog floats up. It tends never to float down, and it comes up and it gets into your eyes and very quickly will fog up your glasses. I'll tell you the trick to, two tricks to avoiding that in a minute. The other thing when you're going along is you're going along and maybe you're not breathing, and it's, well, you're not breathing, you're breathing, but it's not fogging up. You start seeing the steam build up here where you get this patch of haze. That is from you sweating and being too hot. So I remember I talked with Hannah McKean about that, and she's featured in my book, Antarctic Tears. She's got the most, let's see, where is her? Hannah McKean. She's got the world record for the number of skis to the South Pole, so she's a super expert on this. But her number one suggestion to prevent fogging, especially more goggles than glasses, is stay cool and almost cold. And I've experienced this too. If you're like, oh, I like to be toasty warm, I've got my puffy coat on and I like my goggles, but oh my gosh, it's totally foggy, you're too warm. That's simply how it is. So in order to prevent your goggles, especially from fogging, you need to travel and stay cooler, almost to the edge of cold. Not where you're shivering, where your muscles are cramped up and not functioning properly, but you're like, whew, man, I better bust a move and start moving very quickly. And if you get too warm, unzip your jacket so you stay relatively cool the entire time, and that will really help prevent fogging in your goggles. Now, you can use the fog spray and all those things, and puts this layer in here which reduces the surface tension of the water, hazes it over, and it works okay, but in real cold temperatures, that's going to be a problem. You're going to spritz that on there and it might freeze to your goggles. Been there, done that. So keep cool. I know the desire is to keep warm, sweat or whatever. Don't do that. Now the second trick, especially with goggles and like my glacier glasses here, got my glacier glasses on and I'm going along and I breathe up and oh my gosh, I fog the heck out of them. There are two methods to take care of this, or actually there's three. As you're going along and when you're breathing, see my lips here? Breathe downward. Our natural inclination is to breathe outward, and it ends up floating upward, and I've very quickly coated my glasses with several millimeters of ice, and it's very irritating to do. But as I'm going along, then I blow my exhalation downward or sideways, and it makes a huge difference. The problem is it takes a lot of mental effort to do it, and you can't believe how fatiguing adjusting your lips is, and to blow downward is like, oh my gosh, this takes a lot of effort. So that is the thing. I mean, as long as you're not breathing upward and that fog's not coming up, your glasses will stay pretty clear, and as long as you're not getting too warm, you're actually staying cool, then you keep that problem away. But let's say you're still struggling with that. What do you do? Assuming you've got a hood, and you're wearing a hood, and you've got your glasses in here, you might have this work, but most often it works with a good, nice beanie. I've got this beanie from TKG, the Kiki Gallery, a YouTuber. Check her stuff out, thekikigallery.com. It's a great hat. But what I do is I take my glasses and instead of jamming them right against my face where, oh yeah, like they're supposed to work, what I do is I actually hover my glasses off my face just a little bit. Now, if I expose my eyes, what I do is I drop my hat down and I keep my glasses hung off my face as far as I possibly can. You can see how far my glasses are off. I've actually got an inch here. Now, some downsides to this technique, the glare from the glacier can start to come up and burn your eyes. So you have to be very careful with this technique, but I've used this in Greenland and with my glacier glasses in Greenland and Antarctica because I fogged the ice. Like I had so much ice in my glasses I could scrape it off. It was terrible. But what I do is I hang my glasses off, I put my hat on, just like that, and usually the tighter the hat, the better. This beanie is a little bit loose, but you get the idea. And you can see I can totally put my fingers up here, I can put my fingers down there, and my glasses tilt down on my nose. That way I keep my eyes off the glacier, I keep my head up a little bit, and that little 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter gap is all the difference between having my glasses ice up and not. Now, are there some downsides? Yes, you gotta kind of do this, you gotta make sure to look down so you don't get the glare from the glacier. There's a lot of trouble there, but you gotta breathe. I mean, that's the thing, right? I also talk about this in book, The Motivated Adventurer's Guide, or Amateur's Guide to Winter Camping, same sort of thing. Keep those glasses a little bit off, and it will make a big difference. If you jam them on there and you get warm at all, shoo, steam, you breathe up, that fog comes up, ice-o-rama. Those are the techniques, but the number one thing, especially with goggles, is stay cool. Unzip your jacket. I mean, if you're like even vaguely warm or comfortable, unzip it even more. Take another layer off. Drop those layers. And then with your goggles on, you'd be like, oh, you're cool. You won't get as much steam. It is completely counterintuitive. People are like, oh, I got to be warm and efficient. You're warm and efficient right up till you have the irritation of doing the blind man's and blind woman's bluff wandering around. Get rid of that. Just stay cool. Like not be cool, but actually in your core of your body, be a little bit cool, and it'll motivate you to move faster and you can regulate your temperature better. Those are the best ways I've found to prevent icing and fogging of goggles and your glacier glasses. Please leave comments below. Ask questions so I can helpfully answer them to help you out and everyone else. Thank you very much for watching.